All right. Well, at this time, Sue has the Drash for today.
I'm doing the Torah portion, Yitro, which means Jethro. In this Torah portion, Yitro, meaning Jethro, chapter 18, verses 12 through 27, we read the following. Jethro offered sacrifices to God, and afterwards Aaron and the leaders of Israel came to meet Jethro, and they all ate the sacrificial meal together before the Lord. The next day, Moses sat as usual to hear the people's complaints against each other from morning to evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw how much time he was taking, he said, "Why are you trying to do all this alone with people standing here all day long to get your help?" "Well, because the people come to me with their disputes to ask for God's decisions," Moses told him. "I am their judge, deciding who is right and who is wrong, and instructing them in God's ways. I apply the laws of God to their particular disputes." "It's not right," his father-in-law exclaimed. "You're going to wear yourself out, and if you do, what will happen to the people?" "Moses, this job is too heavy a burden for you to try to handle all by yourself. Now listen and let me give you a word of advice, and God will bless you. Be these people's lawyer, then representative before God, bringing him their questions to decide. You will tell them his decisions, teaching them God's laws and showing them the principles of godly living. Find some capable, godly, honest men who hate bribes and appoint them as judges. Let these men be responsible to serve the people with justice at all times. Anything that is too important or complicated can be brought to you, but the smaller matters they can take care of themselves. That way, it'll be easier for you because you will share the burden with them. If you follow this advice and if the Lord agrees, you will be able to endure the pressures and there will be peace and harmony in the camp." Moses listened to his father-in-law's advice and followed this suggestion. He chose able men from all over Israel and made them judges over the people, thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. They were constantly available to administer justice. They brought the hard cases to Moses, but judged the smaller matters themselves. Soon afterwards, Moses let his father-in-law return to his own land. We can see that Moses took Jethro's godly advice with positive results. He had a warm relationship with his father-in-law and trusted him. He didn't rebel, but humbled himself, being a godly man. This restored a healthy balance to his life. We can all learn from this, and this is what God wants for all of us. We need to make time for a relationship with him. We don't always realize how thin we spread ourselves in the midst of it until we hear from someone else. Ironically, it was my oldest daughter years ago, as a young teenager or preteen, who said to me, "All you ever do is chores." I thought to myself, there's something wrong with this picture. So I responded that she was right, and it was time for the children to start helping me, and it made a really big difference in her life. I didn't tell her yet that I used her in my Drash. I'll tell her tomorrow. Yeah. It just took someone to observe and care. I also made sure to divide the work fairly. Being the oldest of four myself, like her, I was used to doing everything myself, and I didn't question it. It can be hard to delegate responsibilities sometimes. I'm preaching to myself on this. But we need to in order to protect our reserves so we can help when we are really needed instead of trying to fix everything for everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.